has joined together, let no man put us under.
What God has joined together, let no man put us under.
What God has joined together, let no man put us under.
What God has joined together, let no man put us under.
What God has joined together, let no man put us under.
What God has joined together, let no man put us under. What God has joined together, let no man put us under.
Hello, everybody who has joined me right now. This is Frankly Speaking, and we are on Voice Afrique Radio. This is Frankly Speaking. We are on Voice Afrique Radio one more time. I welcome you all. On board. It's nice seeing those of you who have joined me already. Fumilayo, Fabi, Taiwo, Apostle Emmanuel, Dan, Okia, Fumilayo, Ade Tutu, Kimex Oladele, Ade Otufale, Martin F. Webb. Thank you for joining. The show is Frankly Speaking. We are discussing another very, 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 very frank topic on the show today, and this is Voice Afrique Radio. The music you're listening to right now is the music of Chief Ebenezer Obey, titled Eto Igbeyawo. Eto Igbeyawo. That is the music that we have opened the show with today because it's very relevant to the subject of discussion. The subject of discussion today is one of those topics that tend to raise a lot of hair on people's bodies. It's one of those topics that tend to generate a lot of controversies. But again, today, that's what Frankly Speaking is for, is known for. We discuss topics that people tend to shy away from, and then we just hit the nail on the head and we say just as it is, as it is. Tonight again, it's not going to be different in any way because we're going to hit the nail on the head as we discuss the topic marital crisis meet the Queen. Let's enjoy Chief Ebenezer Obey's music a little more. For those of you who have joined me on the show right now, I'm just going to implore you to kindly share as usual, so more people will be alerted and then they'll be able to join as well. Kindly share the video as you're watching now. Share the video before we begin the subject of discussion proper. As you share the video, I'm just going to ask you, how was your day today? For those of us who have been to work and back, how was work today? Hope not too hectic. And for those who will be going to work much later, I do wish that your workplace becomes a place of peace and tranquility tonight. Or if it is morning, wherever you are, if it is noon, I do wish that your workplace becomes a place of tranquility and peace, and you will not come back home sad in any way. Anything that is waiting for you in your place of work to spoil your day, before you get there, God will remove them in Jesus' name. We are looking at marriage. We're looking at marriage tonight. Marriage is that one topic that we all tend to shy away from. It seems to be, the white elephant in the room. Everybody knows it's there. Everybody is aware it's there, but nobody wants to go there. Nobody wants to talk about it. It's one of those topics that we know we should discuss, but how, by whom, we don't know. I'm going to encourage every one of you tonight who have joined me on the show, Frankly Speaking, to kindly participate in the show tonight. Don't let us make it a monologue. Let's make it a dialogue as much as possible. Let's enjoy the show together. Let's discuss the topic together. No pretenses. Let's say it as it is. What are we looking at today? Marital crisis meets the new queen. There's a story behind today's topic. For those of you who have joined me already, just say hello, say hi, say something for me to know you are still there. Just say something so that I am aware that you are still with me on the show. And as you share as well, do let me know that you've shared. Thank you so very much. word of advice from Chief Commander Baba himself. Says husband and wife, stay away from quarrels, stay away from fights. Those of you who are on the show with me, I would just like you to say hello, say hi, say something, just for me to be sure you're still there with me on the show, and let me know what the network, what the signal is like, if you can hear the sound of my voice clearly, and if the video is clear as well. Do let me know, because I wouldn't want anybody to miss out on any of the aspect of tonight's topic. Do say hi, say hello or something, just for me to know that you are all out there watching and listening.
Nítorí olùrànlọ́wọ́ la jẹ́.
A word of advice from Baba himself, Chief Commander Ebenezer Obey. He's been there, he knows it all. He knows what he's talking about. He says, husband and wife, do not quarrel, because you're supposed to be there complementing each other. You're supposed to be there supporting each other. Do not fight. What are we talking about today? Marital crisis. Meet the new queen. Who is the new queen? Tonight's topic was inspired by a story that is making rounds at the moment. I'll tell you the story in a minute. Forget, this is Voice Afrique Radio, and you can listen to non-stop music on Voice Afrique Radio if you log into, or if you visit www.voiceafriqueradio.com. Listen to non-stop music, African music, hip-hop, Fuji, high life, juju, all kinds of African music on www.voiceafriqueradio.com. Those of you who are on the show with me already tonight, kindly share this video. And do let me know that you are on the show with me. Say hello, say something. I just want to hear you say something. Just type something up there. Let us know you are there, because tonight's topic is a bombshell. Olubukola Bandele, hello, my sister. How are you? How is my brother doing? You're always looking good. How is everybody at home? How is work? Olajide Taiwo Adedara has joined us as well. Thank you for joining. Say hello, say something so that I'll know you are still there. This is Voice Afrique Radio, and the show on air right now is Frankly Speaking. We're looking at the topic, marital crisis meets the queen. Who is this queen? And who is the king? There is a story behind the topic.
Ìkìlọ̀ fún tọkọ-tìyàwó ní wípé.
Olajide Taiwo Adedara, my lovely brother, all the way from Nigeria. Well done. He says, well done. Well done to you too. What's the weather like? What's going on where you are? This brother took a photo of me years back. Each time I look at the photo, I cannot but just remember him and his lovely, lovely smile and gap tooth. Thank you, brother Jide. God bless you.
ṣẹ̀mí bí ẹ lóògùn tó kápá wọn.
Brother Jide, as I just say a big thank you to you again, you just reminded me of the big family way back in Nigeria, my father's house. I'm saying a big shout out to everybody in my father's house there in Ikorodu, Lagos.
Amen. Check it out.
Morenike Adelosuye Obaze, thank you for joining. Those who are on the show with me tonight, just say hello, say something, and let me know you are still alive and kicking on the show. And those who are already on the show with me, again, I'm going to implore you to kindly share. Don't forget to share, because if you don't share, there are people who are not aware that the show is already on air, and if you don't share, they may not be aware. So kindly share so more people can join us and be partakers of tonight's discussion. It's a bombshell topic tonight on Frankly Speaking. It says marital crisis, meet the queen. Who is this new queen? And I said to you earlier that there is a story behind this topic. It's very, very hot. The story is very, very hot at the moment. It's making rounds. It's all over the place. We're going to talk about that story tonight. Share this video. From Chief Commander Ebenezer Obey, we want to listen to Igbeyawo by Oshafemi. Igbeyawo is the title of the song by Oshafemi.
Walk on down, join together, let no man put us on down.
Yes, Morenike Adelosuye Obaze. She says, Ogbono Feli Feli, yes, it's just too hot to handle. It's one of those topics that you know is too hot to handle, but we're going to diffuse the heat tonight. We're going to handle it tonight. We're going to, look critically at this topic tonight in regards to the story that is making rounds, the story that has brought up this topic tonight. Let's listen to Risha Femi. Wives, spouses, every one of you out there, listen to Risha Femi, word of advice. Yes, Lexi Ayo Lufunke, she says, Koshe Durowo, Benio, Koshe Durowo. I want to add to that Koshe Durowo, Maruse, Madurowo, Koshe Durowo. Ogbono Feli Feli is the topic we're looking at today. If you have already shared this video, give me a thumb up. I just want to see a thumb up from you if you have already shared the video, because I don't want to start the discussion of this topic tonight without every one of us having shared the video. I want every one of us to be participants in tonight's topic. Don't just be an observer. Participate and let's discuss this topic together. It's a very hot topic. Let's critically look at it together. If you've shared the video, just give me a thumb up wherever you are right now. Olubukola Oyewole Bamidele, thank you for the thumb up. You've shared it already. Lexi Ayo Olufunke, I suppose you've shared as well. Thank you for the thumb up. The rest of us, let's kindly share so more people can come on board and join us and discuss this very salient topic, and a topic that most of the times we do shy away from. We cover with a blanket. We know he's there. He's the white elephant in the room. We all know he's there, but Nobody wants to talk about it. But tonight, we're going to dissect it. We're going to look at it. We're going to critically look at this topic and see as much as possible what we can learn, especially from the story that has brought about tonight's topic. The story that is making rounds is a very interesting and very important story. We're looking at that story tonight. All right. Thank you so very much once again for those of you who are on the show with me already. I'm not going to take much of your time. I'm just going to go straight into the topic. You are quite aware of the royal story that is making rounds all over social media at the moment. I'm talking about no other story but the story of the Ojaja the Second. Ojaja the Second, the Ooni of Ife. The Ooni of Ife and his queen. When I heard the story, one of the things that I said to myself was, oh, the rich also cry. You know, marriage or marital challenges do not exempt anybody. And nobody is exempted from marital crises, from marital challenges. When it comes to marital crises, marital challenges, we are all equal. We are all equal. Before I go on to discuss this topic, so that it does not seem as an affront to His Imperial Majesty Oba Adeyeye Ogunwusi, the Ojaja Second, so that it does not seem as an affront to him, because as a Yoruba man, we have utmost respect and regard for the king. Utmost regard for the king. Kábíyèsí Ọọ̀ni Ọba Adéyẹyè Ògúnwùsì Ọ̀jájá kejì, ọmọ Ọ̀jájá fìdí ọ̀tẹ̀ jálẹ̀, ọmọ Ayíkìtì ogun, ọmọ Ẹtìrì ogun, ọmọ Onífẹ̀ Àbúrẹ́, ọmọ Onífẹ̀ Àdédé Owórẹmọ, Ifẹ̀, ọmọ olódò kan ò téré, ọmọ olódò kan ò tàrà, ọmọ olódò tó ń ṣàn wéréke, tó dẹ́yìn kùlé òṣìlé, tó di àbàtà. Kábíyèsí, mo súnmọ́ ba níwọ̀n ìgbèje, mo jìnnà sọ́ba níwọ̀n ẹgbẹ̀fà, ẹ̀mí ò rọ́bà fín torí arọ́bà fín lọ́ba ń pa. Ọba má pa mí, mo kí orí adé o. After paying that homage to the Kábíyèsí himself, so, you know, just so as to show utmost respect for his office and for what he represents in Yoruba land. We're going to delve into the story, just as it is. It is no longer news that the Ooni of Ife Oba Enitan Adeyeye Ogunwusi has taken another wife. It is no longer news. It's all over the internet. It's all over social media. You know, the social media is already saturated with different versions of the marriage crisis that is rocking the Ife Palace currently. From the exclusive reports gathered by Voice of Freak Radio, it is clear that the new queen who has come to take over from Olori Wuraola, we gathered that the new queen is from Abeokuta, Ogun State, and her name is, should I mention her name? Should I mention the name? Some of you already know the name anyway, but I will keep the name on the wraps in the meantime. I'll tell you the name later. But then we gathered that she has lived in the Ooni of Ife's personal house for a while, and that the new queen has not featured publicly with the Ooni of Ife yet. But briefs, you know, from the palace indicate also that the Ooni is taking his time before the public show of his new queen. The reason he's taking his time, I wouldn't know. Maybe you do know. If you do know, please let us know. But it's quite astonishing to know that a marriage that is just less than 2 years old is under so much attack already, and is just going into shambles. It's just, I don't know what else to say, but When I first heard the story, I became very, very emotional because the Ooni of Ife is somebody I hold in very high esteem, as it is the tradition in Yoruba land. Igbakeji Orisha. Sometimes you think these people are beyond errors, but the reality has dawned on us. The new queen, who was said to have been arranged for the monarch through the monarch's three sisters, the new queen is already enjoying all the attention befitting a queen, while Wuraola, Olori Wuraola, is currently facing untold challenges in order for her to hold on to her marriage. She's running all over the place, basically, at the moment, looking for all the who is who in Nigeria, all the people who she thinks will be able to hold sway and be able to talk to the king or Jaja himself to persuade him to drop the idea of, getting a new queen. I'm going to show you the pictures of the three sisters of the king who are apparently responsible for arranging this new bride, this new queen for him. Look at them. These are the three lovely, beautiful princesses who are responsible for arranging a new bride for Ojaja himself. What is the reason these three princesses are bent on displacing Olori Wuraola? That's one of the things we're looking at tonight. Why are they bent on displacing her and bringing in a new Olori? If you already know, you can type it up. It doesn't matter. But the bit that we know, about this story, I'll let you into it as we go along. This is the Ojaja himself and Olori Wuraola. You can see them beautifully adorned. You can see royalty all over them. So why would anybody want to alter this beautiful arrangement? Why will anybody want to change this? Why will anybody want to see something different? I don't know, to be honest. I haven't got any valid answer to that. But those are the three princesses who are bent on displacing Olori Wuraola. These three princesses are known to always accompany the Ooni to most places he went, especially when he was newly installed. But we understand that there is obviously a supremacy battle among or between these three princesses and Olori Wuraola. The usual women thing. The new wife has just been brought in, and then it now behoves on the in-laws to accept the new wife, depending on, the attitude, the character of the new wife herself. But we understand that the princesses, the three princesses whose pictures you saw earlier on, and Olori Wuraola are at loggerheads. There's no love lost between them. So that's one of the reasons the marriage to the monarch, Olori Wuraola's marriage to the monarch, has broken down. Though some people said or are saying that the marriage is not broken down yet. The marriage is just experiencing challenges. But it's quite obvious that the marriage has hit the rocks, unfortunately. It's not because anybody is happy to see such a demise, but the truth be said, the marriage has hit the rocks already. So what led to this disappointing destruction of the Ooni's marriage? Because of the infighting between the three princesses and Olori Wuraola, Olori Wuraola, we understand, decided to put these 3 princesses in their place. And this, of course, ignited a silent war, between them. Initially, it seems to be well with the queen and her in-laws, but, everything turned ugly with what one of our sources described as the attitude of Olori Wuraola towards family members. So we were told that the attitude of Olori Wuraola was not acceptable, that there was something she will do that would not enjoy the approval of the family of the king. So it appears one of the reasons for the challenges in the Ooni's marriage to Wuraola is the fact that the queen is at war with her in-laws. So, number one lesson to you ladies out there, ensure that whatever you have to do, that you make peace with your in-laws. Make peace with your in-laws. It is very, very important. It's one of the reasons why you will enjoy your marriage and one of the reasons why you may not be able to enjoy your marriage. So, palace sources told us that unfortunately the sisters, the princesses, cannot narrate all they have experienced in the hands of Olori Wuraola, that Olori Wuraola actually subjected them to a lot of ridicule. We were actually told that when they went to the US and to America recently on tour, that Olori Wuraola dealt with them. And before, we were told that the sisters were living in the palace, but they're no longer there now because of the infighting and the tug of war between them and the queen. We were also informed that when the Ooni's father, when the king's father, Prince Rocco Ogunwusi, when he clocked 75, that was in March this year, 2017, that Queen Wuraola, who apparently should be one of the people to arrange the birthday party for the father-in-law, was noticeably absent from that birthday celebration. So, at the Babaoba's 75th birthday, the 3 princesses and very few family members were present, but the queen, Olori Wuraola, was noticeably absent. Why? Obviously because there is infighting between them. So it's something that has been ongoing for a while. It's not a new development. It's just something that has been carefully kept under wraps. It's one of the royal secrets that, they've been trying to manage over time, but unfortunately, eventually got out of hand and then became unmanageable. And then, of course, it has to become public knowledge. But what we are looking at today in regards to this story, what I want us to look at actually is to look at the things that went wrong in that marriage, to our knowledge, the things that went wrong that we can use as lessons so that, each one of us can, especially those of us who are having challenges and those who are not having challenges at the moment, who are not having crises, so that each one of us can take note and then apply these lessons to our marriages, to our homes, in order for us to have more stable homes and more stable families. But before I go on to look at some of the lessons we can learn, I'm just going to ask you, some of you out there who are watching right now, what are the secrets to a strong marriage? What are the secrets to a strong marriage? Morenike Adelosoyo Bezi, with due respect to the king and queen, once a home is always a home. They found out our history of being, once a hoe. Oh, you mean once a harlot is always a harlot. Okay. They found out our history and she slept with many governors and men in power. Our history was practically everywhere. And already they got married. Okay. That's a very strong allegations, Morenike Adelosoyobazi. I do suppose you have evidences to substantiate that, but because that's a very strong allegations. So, what do you think are the ingredients of a strong and formidable marriage? How can we all prevent marriage breakdown? How can we best manage crises in our marriages and in our homes? As we continue to look at the marriage breakdown of the Ooni of Ife and Olori Wuraola, let's look at some of the things we can glean from the incidents and apply to our own marriages, to our own relationships, so as for us not to experience similar pitfalls as they have experienced. All right? So I'm waiting. All over the news. Okay, Olubukola Oyewole. Okay, so what Morenike Adelosoyobazi mentioned is all over the news. But you see, something is all over the news does not indicate that it is true. The fact that it's all over the news does not authenticate it. So what I'm saying is, if it is not authenticated, if it is not true, it probably may just be hearsay or, I don't know. But if you have proofs, why not bring up the proof? But why we are, each one of us is, looking at things that we believe will help each one of us to have much solid, much firm relationships. Let me continue on the story. What led to the destruction of the marriage. All right. So the new queen is from Abeokuta. I've not mentioned her name yet, but I will end up mentioning her name. She's from Ogun State, Abeokuta. We understand that this new queen has been living in the personal house of the Ooni for quite some time. So that arrangement started, quite a while back. It's not a new arrangement. So it's not a new development. Okay, somebody said communication. Communication, one of the things that can help us build a firm and solid marital relationship. Communication. Thank you, Lexi Ayo Ulufunke. Communication is key. When there is communication breakdown, there will be marriage breakdown. And it's not just about marriage. In any ship, whether it is relationship, friendship, whatever kind of ship you are into, once there is communication breakdown, everything will scatter. The center will not be able to hold anymore. So communication is key. Communication is key. So these three princesses, their names are Princess Folashade, the princesses we saw earlier, Princess Folashade, Princess Adesola, and Princess Binkwe. We understand that these three princesses are the eyes and ears of the Ooni of Ife, especially on social scene. So it was these three princesses that ensure that the paramount ruler in Yoruba land did not end up with just a queen, but with two, as it is now. So these three princesses were said to have arranged for the Ooni of Ife a new queen named or called Bolanle. So I've just given out the name of the new queen. Her name is Bolanle. You heard it officially from Voice Afrique Radio and on Frankly Speaking. Her name is Bolanle. Her name is Bolanle, and she's from Abeokuta in Ogun State. One of our sources, who is very close to the handsome and well-respected Oba Eniton Ogunwusi, the Ooni of Ife, said to us that the major battle he is being confronted with now, that the king is being confronted with right now, is how to feature his new wife in the public. because he has been parading Olori Wuraola in the public for quite some time now. So the new challenge now is, how do we replace Olori Wuraola with Bolanle? How do we now convince the public that Olori Wuraola is not the first Olori anymore, but that it is now Olori Bolanle? So that is one of the headaches of Oba Ogunwusi at the moment. So we understand that those who are mounting pressure on the Oni to have another queen do have good grounds for doing so. Because, like you heard, the arrowheads are these three princesses, and because they are not getting along very well with Olori Wuraola, because quite a number of things have been happening, we understand that they kept saying that we have reasons we do not want Olori Wuraola to be the first queen. So we are quite aware that they have very good reasons, and other members of the family have supported them. So they enjoy massive support of members of the family, other members of the family who are saying the king must get a new wife. The king must get a new wife. Well, I don't have any problem personally with the king getting a new wife, because even though he tends to be a Christian king, but at the same time, he's a traditional ruler. And going by tradition, he's entitled to as many wives. As many wives. So I don't have any problems with Oba Eniton Ogunwusi taking a second wife, because he's a traditional ruler. And the demands of his tradition, if he has to follow the demands and the dictates of his tradition, he hasn't done anything wrong by taking a new wife. Because I've heard it, I've heard people saying, why would he take a second wife? After all, he goes to church and then he'll be saying God is his father. He'll be calling on Jesus. Why is he taking a second wife? Don't forget, despite his affinity with Christianity, he is a traditional ruler. He is a traditional ruler. And again, it's only normal for him as a traditional ruler who has the liberty to have as many wives. And now, even if he doesn't want to have the second wife, now the queen, Olori Wuraola, is not enjoying massive support from the family. There are challenges in the home. So even if the king doesn't want to have a second wife, because of the challenges, and also because there is no family support for the union, he will be under pressure, immense pressure, to get a new wife. And I don't think Olori Wuraola, who is going about now crying and begging and looking for people to intercede, I don't think it should come as a surprise to her, because she's married a king. So what was she expecting? Was she expecting that it's going to be me and my husband? You're married to a king. You should expect that eventually there might or there could be other wives. Because that's the tradition. That's the tradition. So I am going to implore Olori Wuraola to please simmer. Just simmer and let go. Forget it. As long as you maintain that the marriage did not crash, it's only that you are having challenges. Okay, and palace sources that we have spoken to confirmed that, okay, Olori Wuraola is still an Olori, but that the king is getting a new wife. So you are still there as an Olori. So what are you crying about? What are you crying about? In my view, you should just accept your fate, because you are married to a traditional ruler and the paramount king in Yoruba land, for that matter. He definitely will have a second wife. It's just a matter of when. It's just a matter of how soon. Bola Badebo Obatejo Bola Badebo says, Obatejo parades 3 wives successfully. Why can't Ojaja parade 2? Is he not Igbakeji Orisha? Exactly. By the dictates of his office as the traditional ruler, as the paramount king in Yoruba land, or as a traditional ruler for that matter, he's entitled to having 2, 3, 4, 5 wives. Other kings of similar status have more than one wife, or have more than one wife. So, what is the issue with him taking a second wife? I don't see any issue with it. Bola Gbadebo, don't forget that it was Ifa that picked Wuraola. Okay, so if Ifa picked, or the oracle picked, or chose Wuraola, the oracle have decided to choose another person. And not that the oracle have rejected Wuraola. The oracle is only saying that, okay, Wuraola needs somebody to accompany. And another salient point is this. Bear in mind that Wuraola at the moment do not have any child for the Ojaja. She doesn't have any child for the king. And traditionally, the palace should be surrounded by princes and princesses, children of the king, heirs to the throne. So if going to the second year, Wuraola has not been able to have any child, and the king is saying, you know what, let's follow tradition. We need another queen who, peradventure, may be able to have children. And again, to ease the tension between Wuraola and the family, let's bring in another queen, so as to make peace. Has the king done any wrong in doing that? The Ifa has picked another wife, Olubukola Oyewole. Yes, Ifa has picked another. The Ifa that we have now is a very trending Ifa. Ifa goes with what is going on, the happenings around us. The oracles are very, very trendy these days. So they know what's going on. They know what's happening. They are very, very trendy. And you see, because back in the days, before the advent of Christianity and other religion, the only religion our fathers, our forefathers relied on was traditional religion, traditional practice. And with that practice, they never went wrong. They never went wrong. So why would we think, or why should we think that now Ifa can no longer, or the oracle can no longer choose who the king should marry? So let's just forget it and move on. There shouldn't be all kinds of controversy and worries and trouble and woes, cries of woes and calamity that we currently hear. I even heard that Olori Wuraola visited Baba Yabo, ex-president Olusegun Obasanjo. That she went to him trying to see if OBJ can intervene and probably speak with the Ooni of Ife and try to influence him not to get another wife. Is it necessary? I don't think so. I don't think so. Baba Yabo himself, how many wives does he have? How many wives? How many wives does OBJ have? OBJ is a traditional man as well, and he understands tradition. And I don't think OBJ will want to wade into such matter. I don't think he will want to prevail on the Ojaja to say, oh, don't have the second wife. Don't have the second Olori. Olori Wuraola, take it nicely and calmly and move on. That's my advice. Take it nicely and calmly and move on. And probably find a way to warm up to the family. Whatever is the reason for the discord between you and your in-laws, that's what I think you should give your attention and your energy to at the moment. That's what I think you should find a way to resolve, to bridge the gap between you and your in-laws, to mend the bridge, or to build the bridge. If there is no bridge at all, build bridges between you and your in-laws. And if there was or were bridges and have broken down, mend those bridges. Let there be cordiality between you and your in-laws. That's what you should focus on right now, Olori Wuraola, and not being bothered about the king taking a second wife. That's my view. That's my view. It is obvious the marriage has broken down. The king has taken a new wife. Olori Wuraola, just move on. Just move on. The reality has dawned on all of us, not just you, Olori Wuraola. I know way back then, when news went round that Oba Eniton Jaja II was going to get married to Olori Wuraola, people said quite a number of things. One of the things they said at the time was what Morenike Adelosoyobazi mentioned earlier on, that, the lady was promiscuous. The king should not even have anything to do with her. She was promiscuous and all that. But then the king went ahead. Some people said the king went ahead, that the Ojaja went ahead then because he was desperate, because his first wife has left him, and he was desperate to have a figurehead as a queen at the time. And that was why he had to marry Olori Wuraola the way he did. Whatever reason for which he married Olori Wuraola, he ended up marrying Olori Wuraola because he could have married someone else. He could have picked someone else. Any other lady would have been too eager to marry him at the time. But he chose Olori Wuraola. So if he never had any feelings for her, he wouldn't have chosen her. But because of his office, the uniqueness of the dictates of his office as a traditional ruler, he has chosen to have a second wife. Olori Wuraola, hold on to God. Hold on to your marriage. It's not broken down. Thank God. Hold on to that marriage and accept the fate that you are married to a traditional ruler who is entitled to having 2, 3, 4, 5 wives, because that is what his tradition allows, which I believe you should be aware of before you got married to him. And if you were aware of this before you got married to him, Olori Wuraola, why are you now crying over spilled milk? You saw it before you went into it. You knew it before you entered into it. So why are you now crying over spilled milk? You should just accept it, forget it, move on. Live your life. Enjoy the palace. Enjoy royalty. You have not been driven out of the palace. The king has not divorced you. You are still his wife. But you are now having a second wife. Enjoy your marriage. Have good relationship with your in-laws and move on. And pray to God. Hold on to God and pray to God that you will have your own children. And that God will make that marriage a place for you to dwell and for your children to dwell. There's no reason crying over spilled milk, exerting energy, running like a beheaded chicken all over the place. You don't need it, Olori Wuraola. Just stay calm. Focus on God. Focus on your husband, the king. And mend the broken down bridges between you and your in-laws. And I'm sure if you can do this, Olori, you will be settled in your marriage regardless of whether or not there is a second Olori or not. You will be settled in that marriage as the queen, and I believe as the first queen, because any other queen that comes after you, they will be additional queens. They will be third, fourth, fifth. You are still going to be the first. So why worry? Why worry? You don't have to worry. Be the best wife to the king, your husband. Be the best daughter-in-law to your in-laws. And settle down to have a good relationship with them. So the reality is, the rich also cry. The rich also cry. Marriage crisis is not peculiar to the poor. Marriage crisis does not exempt anybody, no matter what your status is. Anybody can have marriage crisis. And when we do have marriage crisis, the most important thing is how we manage them. Not expecting marital crisis is like waking up one day and not expecting air to blow or the wind to blow. Not expecting that you will breathe air. Not expecting the wind to blow. Marital crisis will occur because you have all kinds of dynamics in every marriage. You have one dynamic is you have an individual whom you are living with, whom you have never known until you met, who grew up, who was brought up separately from you, who had their separate lives before you met them. They had their ways of thinking, of doing things before you met them. They had their life set in a particular way, in a particular order. You had yours as well, set in a particular way, a particular form, a particular, order. And then both of you are coming together to be one. It's not going to be easy. There will be all sort of challenges. And then you now have these external factors, the in-laws, the family members. So there will always be challenges. But how you manage the challenges is the most important thing. The rich also cry. No one is exempted from life's challenges and crises. But what are the factors that causes marriage breakdown? Some of the factors that causes marriage breakdown we've talked about. Amika Mui, true. Can't cry over spilled milk. If you can't change it, accept it. Of course. Juliet Okoye, quite right. Morenike Adeosoye Obazi says, easier. I want to see that comment from Morenike Adeosoye Obazi. Where is that comment again? Morenike Adeosoye Obazi. Easier said than done, sir. We do not know the promises Ooni made to her before Marina. Well, I don't think it's about what promises was made to her. I think it was about, okay, he knew the Ooni all along. They knew each other. They've been friends. There was some sort of likeness towards him and towards her as well. And he spoke to her. She agreed because the Ooni wasn't a stranger to him. So I don't think the Ooni needed to make promises or, well, I don't know what you meant, Morenica Adeosoye Obazi, anyway, but I, in my view, I don't think the Ooni needed to make any unusual promises to her. And whatever kind of promise that was made to her, that would not have included the fact that there will not be a second queen. So what am I saying tonight as I try to close? What are those factors that causes marriage breakdown? How can we prevent marriage breakdown? How can we ensure that regardless of the turbulence that we experience in our marriages, in our homes, that we are able to make our homes, our marriages stand firm on solid foundation, make our marriages become unshakable? How can we ensure to do this? How can we make this happen? Another question. Can a marriage be destined for the rocks? Or can a marriage destined for the rocks be saved? Sometimes they will say, there's nothing you can do about that marriage. It's destined for the rocks. It's going to scatter. It shouldn't have happened in the first place. Is there anything like that? Or can a marriage that is destined for the rocks be saved? Are there marriages that should not have been? These and some other questions we will attempt to answer on our new show, Two Hearts. A new show is coming up on Voice Africa Radio very soon. The show is called Two Hearts. Two Hearts. Two Hearts. The That show will be dedicated to looking at marital issues, challenges, solutions, stories that has to do with marital issues, So watch out for that show. It's coming up very, very soon. And if you like to present shows for Voice of Ife Radio, do contact us. Let us hear from you. We're happy to work with you. Just let us know if you have any interest to present shows for us, or maybe you want to present Two Hearts or any other show that you have in mind. Do get in touch with us. But watch out for Two Hearts. It's coming soon. Meanwhile, our prayers are with the Ooni of Ife and his family. My personal prayers are with him, and I pray that the good Lord will grant him the wisdom like that of Solomon with which to overcome every challenge. If there are updates on this story, you can be sure we will bring it your way as soon as we hear of it. But now, I'd like to say thank you so very much for watching. Keep praying for the Ooni and his queen, Wuraola, and the new queen. And keep praying for every marriage that is going through challenges and turbulence at the moment. Before I sign out completely, I'd like to again acknowledge those who have joined me on the show. If I'm not able to mention your name in person, please do not be crossed with me. Thank you, Salami Sukomi, Olubukola Oyewole, Ayo Lawansin, Olajide Taiwo Adedara, Folashade Otitoju Oke. Okay, let me read this comment from Folashade. He says, to be sincere, I don't see marrying a king as a serious marriage. Olori Wuraola should expect this. For someone who is not a king, long distance, lack of communication are the main reasons for marriage destruction. My own view about the whole thing is that they should have let her enjoy her marriage a little bit before taking another wife. Well, I share the same sentiment, Falashade. I share the same sentiment with you. But whatever deed that has been done. So there's apparently nothing we can do about it. But, whatever we can do individually to keep our marriages strong, let us endeavor to do them. And I pray that the Lord will give us the wisdom to work out our marriages, and that if there are influences, external or internal influences that want to destroy our marriages, want to ruin our relationship, that the Lord will frustrate their efforts in the name of Jesus. Until I come your way again on Frankly Speaking from the stable of Voice of Ife Radio, keep shining and stay blessed. I'm going to leave you with the music of Orisha Femi, which says Igbeyawo. Stay blessed.
Join together, let no man put us under. What God have joined together, let no man put us under.
Music on Taliban #1. And love is a beautiful thing.
Flip size, we